Hey Heart fans, thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. That way you'll always be able to see me in this shirt. Or I might have another shirt on, but if I have another shirt on, don't be disappointed. I have many shirts. I'm a man of many shirts. What? Hey, this video today, I really wanted to give you guys a glimpse to my other channel called Speech Bubble. It is a podcast that I do with my awesome sidekick, Mr. Jace Deal, and we talk about entertainment, movies, animation, my career, other people's careers. And we've had a lot of amazing guests on, and the goal of Speech Bubble is to always not only entertain, but I want to uplift and inspire you guys to achieve your goals and get into the field of entertainment or whatever field you choose to get into. Maybe your neighbor's field, right? You guys, maybe there's cows in that field. You play baseball in the field, just if it's your neighbor's field, ask permission. Okay, anyway, but I want you guys to get into whatever chosen field that you desire, whether it's, animation, live action, whether it's music, whatever. So I've had a lot of cool guests on Speech Bubble that help to inspire me and who've worked with me and who've done some great things with me and for me and stuff. So here's a compilation of some clips from Speech Bubble featuring guys like Guy Moon, my composer on Fairly Odd Parents. This guy's composed music for me for over 20 years. And Drake Bell, Mr. Drake Bell from Drake and Josh, and a good friend of mine, he's on some of these clips. Even Jerry Trainor from iCarly and the star of TUFF Puppy, a good friend of mine, he's on this as well, plus a couple other people too. And don't forget, Speech Bubble is also an audio podcast, not just a YouTube channel. You can get the audio on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play, wherever podcasts are sold. No, wherever podcasts are heard. All the links are down below. Speech Bubble is awesome. I want you guys to check out the channel when you get a chance, but I just thought this was a really cool clip reel to put together. These guys say some really inspirational things, and they're really funny too, so check it out. Anyone out there listening to this right now, you got any advice for them if they want to make it as a musician, like anywhere, like especially in Hollywood? What would you say to that person?
It's honestly, it's just the same advice that you would always hear and get and listen to and go, oh, that's just tried, or oh, that's just, you hear those sayings as a kid.
It's like cliche, exactly.
That's the word I'm looking for. You just find that, oh, that's just some cliche. But then you realize as you get older, you're like, oh man, if I would have listened to all those cliches my mom or my dad or my parents or all those people around me were saying and put them into practice, wow, I would totally be in a different position right now. And it's like early bird gets the worm and like all these stupid sayings. And that's really what it is. It's like, or like the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It's like how to cut through in social media today. It's like,
or Jay Steele better not mess up this time.
Yeah, like that's that one's been going around since forever. Old. Yeah, my grandpa used to say that.
And then I was born. They're like,
that's why we said it. But, I guess the advice you would probably give is what I would give. It's like I would advise people like this, especially these days when everything's digital. I'm like, learn how to play on a real guitar. Learn how to play drums on a real drum set. I tell people with art, I'm glad there's digital art out there, but like learn how to draw with paper and pencil. Learn how to draw a pen and ink, actual painting.
Absolutely.
Then the digital stuff will make you a little bit more.
I think that both of those things are super important. Yes, and what I tell kids in meet and greets all the time, they go, how do I get to be where you are right now? And I just say, don't think about where I am right now. Like, look at the goal. Like, yeah, okay, I want to be there one day. But then you have to do the homework. You got to sit in your room for 14 hours and play guitar. You gotta sit there and draw and erase and screw up and do everything, paper and throw it away and do it over, and over and over and over again. I'm sure that the first time you drew, you weren't magnificent. I mean, maybe you were. Some people are.
I really was.
Some people are. Some people are. Some people are.
I had a lot to learn.
But there's like techniques that even how great you are, even however you're, if you're born with it, there's still techniques that take years and years and years to really harness and everything. So, you really have to do both.
Yeah, the first thing I tell people all the time is like, look, they say the same thing to me. How do I get to have my own show and have it be a success for 15 years? I go, well, first of all, it's practicing the drawing and then it's practicing every aspect of making a cartoon.
Yeah.
It's not only doing that, it's the political part too, going out and actually telling people about it. Like when you wrote the theme song.
Yeah.
You guys could have sat there that day and went, you know what, I'm just kind of tired, let's go swimming. And I don't really want to write a theme song. And it never would have happened.
Or we could have been scared to play it for Dan and then didn't do it. Or we could have just, exactly. Or I could have just said, cool, Dan, yeah, sure, I'll meet with you about my music on Monday.
And never did it.
And just had met with him about, I'll be a guitar player on the show. Cool, see you later.
And I say this all the time, like opportunities are like comets. They're really cool, but they only come around once in a while, and they might not come around for a very long time.
And that's where somebody will look at you and be like, "Oh, you're so lucky that you were able to write the theme song for Drake and Josh." And it's like, no, I just saw an opportunity. And I was prepared for that. I went and I prepared for the opportunity. You know what I mean? It's like I had Saturday and Sunday. You know, I could have gone out with my friend and gone swimming and gone to a party that night. But I didn't. I spent 16 hours of my weekend preparing for this opportunity on Monday.
Exactly.
And the opportunity met preparation, and I was able to
took it seriously. Like
make
the time
it into
you
life.
get into Hollywood and like do voices where you do them all the time. How do you recommend a kid from like Nebraska or a kid from like, you know, the state of like Pennsylvania gets out to Hollywood? What do you recommend?
Imitate everything.
That's exactly
You know,
you're right.
I mean, it is kind of what I did. I was a parrot. I would watch stuff and just go, wow, you know, I mean, Rich Little was amazing.
He amazed me when I was a kid.
On his own show.
When I hear him now, though, I go like, he's okay.
Yeah.
Jeff Bennett's better. I go, Bennett's better than Rich Little. In fact, I even say this to myself, I'm better than Rich Little. But
Well, hey, yeah.
but Rich was great.
And I remember I saw Maurice LaMarche on a Rich Little show where, and Mo told me about this later, is that he was a plant in the audience, and Rich would go in and say, now, who in the audience does impressions?
Right.
You know, and Mo got up, and somebody else had gotten up and done, you know, like an okay Don Knotts or something, you know. And then he got up and did Peter.
Peter who?
Columbo. Peter.
Oh, Peter Falk.
Falk.
Peter Falk.
And he did it dead on.
Wow.
And it was better than Rich's.
Oh, my God.
So he was a little upset.
Oh,
And he was a little upset.
You said he was a
It
plant
was like
in the audience.
his wife said, I think you upset him a little bit because you might have upset him just a little bit because he was a little too good, all right? You should have backed off
Back
the
it
Peter. Yeah.
You don't do the Peter Falk better than Rich Little. Rich Little's on the stage.
No, and he had the face as well. Mo did the whole thing. It was so good.
Because doing the Peter Falk eye, it's always that eye thing.
And I saw him on that and I went, gosh, that guy's good. He is really good.
Yeah.
And then I ended up working with him on a couple of shows
yeah.
later.
And then you've worked with a lot of my friends, the great Rob
Pinky in the
Paulson.
Brain.
Pinky in the Brain.
Yes, he's amazing.
Oh, Pinky, we're going to take over the world, Pinky.
Instead of Christopher Robin, I was Christopher Walken.
Hey, Pooh Bear. Say hey,
and
Pooh
Tigger
Bear.
was Jagger.
I remember Jagger.
Yeah, you talk like that all
Hey,
the
the
time.
wonderful thing
And,
about Jagger.
Wonderful thing about Jagger. Yeah,
You know what? That was the only part of that show I ever liked was that Jagger character. I went, that's funny. Whoever thought of that, that's funny. That's pretty good.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I know people love the show. Everyone has an opinion. But hey, man, so what else can we talk about, Jeff? We've done everything. We've talked about everything we've done.
Well, you wanted to know what else? You know, I would say just
imitate everything.
work on everything. You know, I started out doing
Like the house?
the relatives.
like
you know, I
cooking?
was always like accents. You know,
Accents are huge.
Dialects.
Accents
Dialects
are,
are big.
Accents are huge.
You know, and take acting.
Yeah.
You know, it's like most of the people that I work with are former theater people.
Yeah, what I love about that,
So-
though, is like a lot of people go, I can do funny voices. Listen, I'm doing a funny voice. And it's like, well, there's any acting that goes along with it because it is called voice
Still
acting.
have to act
Okay,
it.
do the
Have to
acting.
act it.
What is wrong with you?
Even professional actors who come in, you know, and then they feel like they don't have to do as much.
On camera people, yeah.
And then you go, you still have to do what you do.
Yeah.
Do what you do. You do you, boo.
I know exactly. We brought a lot of people that were on camera people into the studio for Fairly Odd Parents, all these shows, and they had a really hard time doing voices because they weren't used to it. They couldn't because it was all just their voice. It wasn't their face, their body, nothing, or just to look great on camera. Like some people just look.
I don't want to. Am I too loud?
No, you're.
Because it sounds loud to me. Like I can hear this.
No, I need you to be louder. Now, how do you? Because everyone asks me all the time, and I try to answer as many people as I can. But how do you get from where you are to Hollywood to be a writer? Can you explain that? Simply?
I'll try.
Is there a simple way?
Okay, the answer is this. This business is unique in that there is no path.
Exactly.
Okay, you can't go to graduate school and then you're it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but I think there are some keys, and I would be happy to come back on at some point if you want to talk about creative process, because it's a whole different discussion, and it's how you put yourself in the right state of mind to never be tired out, to never be burned out, and to always be excited about what you do.
About that right now.
Okay, well, creative process
You're
is
not coming back.
I understand. You know what?
no way you're
I'm going to say smart. I'm going to say smart. Okay, creative process is an interesting
That's
thing.
Your cup, by the way.
So much of creative process, of writing and about being creative, is state of mind, okay? And these, you have to look at what you want to do. You have to come to the place where it's done. You have to be brave and honest and humble about reaching out to people who do it.
Humble's a key.
Humble's
word.
huge.
Humble's a
Reach
key
out to
word.
people who do it. It's not a reasonable business. People ask you to do ridiculously unreasonable things. You don't let them take your dignity ever. You don't let them abuse you ever.
And be nice to people.
And you just got to be open and nice, and you have to do this improv thing, which is you yes and everything. You say, yes, I'll do that, and I'll find a way to do it even better. But I think there's a basic structure for the right state of mind. It is confidence, and all you need to do is look at anything you've ever done that you didn't think you could do, anything, and you make a list of those things. Intensity, but never on you. Young writers put all the intensity back on themselves and they blow their own brains up. I can't do this, I'm frozen. You put it on the process. It's not you, it's a thing you're doing, okay? And that's how I let the guy throw the script over my head, because it wasn't me, okay? Fun. You've got to have fun in your life. Every single day has got to be fun. You've got to have joy. If you lose your joy, you can't do anything. You got to bring fun to things. You got to bring energy to things. Autonomy, okay? You don't think about what you're going to get from something, ever. Older people do that. You don't think about what they're going to think of what you did. Younger people do that. You give to it because you love it and you let it go. And finally, faith. You have to just have some faith. You have to be able to close your eyes and say, this is going to work out well for me because I'm doing everything right. And if this doesn't work, something better will happen because of the way I'm behaving and because of the energy I'm putting into this. And that formula, okay, opens doors where there are no doors.
So if somebody wants to be a composer like you are, do you think they have to be versed in every instrument? Or do you think now with like computers, do they have to
I think starting out, what is it?
You gotta have a musical mind. You gotta have a musical mind, I think, right?
There's a saying, something like luck favors the prepared or something like that. So I definitely advise that for anybody starting out, because unless for somehow you have a very defined direction that you want to be and end up in. But when you're starting out, you pretty much, like I did for the first 7 years, you just gotta say yes to everything.
You do?
And I can see if I chart out my career and look at some of the no's that I said, I say to myself, I should have said yes. Because then you can follow those people.
I have a bunch of those too. Like, I should have said yes to this. But I would have ended up somewhere else probably.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't have been working for Butch Hartman.
Well,
if I'd have said no more often.
be on this podcast right now?
Getting paid nothing. But I'm saying
I should have stuck with Spielberg.
If you have a show or an idea, definitely pursue it. Definitely get it going. It might get picked up, and hopefully it will. But normally, there's a lot of politics that go on, like you were saying. That show that got picked up, that could have been the head of the studio's brother that sold it.
That's right.
And he had to buy it because it was his brother's. It has nothing to do with your talent.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you as a person.
Right.
It just has everything to do with timing and maybe what's going on in the studio that day.
And you have the learning experience is learning to compartmentalize that frustration.
Yeah.
I learned very early on. There's a few. Sometimes you audition and you're like, I don't know. Sometimes you audition and you're like, oh, I nailed that. That's mine.
Yeah.
Early on, I auditioned for something. I was still pretty green, but I auditioned for something. Killed it. It was like a movie of the week.
Right.
I even remember what it was called, but I'm not going to say. But
you can tell us what it was called. What was it called?
It was called The Extreme Team.
Okay.
And it was like
I'm writing that down.
It was like the A-Team, but with like
even sexier people. Right.
Exactly.
That's what I thought.
But I was like, I was always playing, like auditioning for like the tech nerd and stuff like that at the time. And I did that well and whatever. But I nailed it and like kept auditioning, tested, did all this stuff. Everyone knew it was like, this is going to you. Like the producers love you. The writers love you. My agents are like, this is going to be yours. I'm like, I know this is going to be mine. Nobody's going to do this as good as me right now.
Right.
And then they're like, bad news. They have an overall deal, or they have a holding deal with another actor who's prominent.
Yep.
And they're just offering it to him.
Unbelievable.
And it was one of those new phrases where it was like, I had not gotten things before, but now I'm not getting something for this new. What is this? What is a holding deal?
What's a holding deal?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Making up rules now? Like, why am I not getting, where's my holding deal?
Exactly.
Like, who gets those?
Yep.
And it
Jace,
was so,
bring in the holding deal.
Bring in the.
It's beep,
it's in the guac. It was
guacamole.
so frustrating to like not get something, and then they just offer it to them, and then they don't make it because it's not as good.
Yeah.
It's not what they thought it was going to be.
I know.
And it's just like.
And we're again want to encourage people out there: do not cease going after what you're going after.
Yeah.
But these are some of the realities. Because the cool thing is, even though those experiences might happen with you, or like TUFF Puppy, you do 3 seasons and it gets canceled or whatever, you can still get the show in the first place. Like TUFF Puppy did 3 seasons. It's
That's
there.
right.
It's out
That's
there.
true.
And it would have been cool if we did 10, of course. But at least we got 3. And sometimes, I mean, I used to audition as an actor as well. And why I gave it up is because it was just so frustrating. And it's even more frustrating trying to create your own television show. But once you do it and you can get over that mountain, it's really rewarding and pleasing, and you can make it happen. So, but these frustrating things do happen sometimes.
Well, they happen a lot. And my dad calls it the rejection. He says I'm in the rejection business because long ago I was like, stop asking me about the audition. I'll tell you when I book it.
Yeah.
Like that will be the time when we talk about
How
what
cool
I'm
it
doing.
is. Yeah, of course.
But I'm not going to call you and say, I got an audition. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But to your point, my advice to actors that are always like, well, what's your advice to actors? It's all perseverance. It's honestly, I think it's just staying power.
We've talked about that a
if you
million
are
times here.
able to deal with the rejection and not take it personally and just being like, and do a good job consistently, they will remember you. You will get back. And over time, people will quit and disappear, and you will be there.
It's almost like a pyramid. It's like there's
Exactly.
a ton of people at the bottom, and as the years go by, the pyramid gets, you go to
and
the
when
point, you go to the
when
point.
the right thing is there
Yep.
at the right time, and you're prepared,
Yep.
and you're still there, still doing it,
Yep.
you will get it.
And there are times I've told people on this show many times, we've talked about perseverance a ton here, and you don't want to ever miss that window of opportunity. Because if you go like, I'm not going to go to this audition that day, or I'm not. If I hadn't gone to pitch Fairly Odd Parents that day, it would have been a whole different opportunity. My opportunity might have been gone.
I almost didn't go to Crazy Steve, which led to everything.
You mean from Drake and Josh? Wasn't that awesome? All those guests I've had on Speech Bubble, not just those guys, but a bunch of other amazing people. I've had Tara Strong on, Gray Delisle, Brizzy Voices, some really, really amazing female guests as well, and I'll do another clip reel showing them. But you know what? It was just so cool to be able to hang out with inspirational people like those people. They lift me up all the time. You know, how people got involved in music and voices and just comedy and acting and stuff. It's so cool. I hope it inspired you, because that's the goal of my channel here, the Butch Hartman channel, is to inspire you. I want to inspire you here and on Speech Bubble. I also want to inspire you with this book written by my wife and I. It's called Vision Possible. It is a book on how to make, quite simply, your vision possible. We wrote the book because we have been through a lot, my wife and I, with our adventures through Hollywood and through Nickelodeon. Not all good, but I mean, just we've done a lot of shows. We've done a lot of projects and productions and things. We have a production company, Billionfold, and we have 2 daughters that we've raised. We've been married over 26 years. There's a lot of experience we put into this book. And if you've got an idea and wanted to get your vision out of your head and into reality and into the marketplace, this book can really help you. It gives you a lot of step-by-step actions to take, as well as some really cool practical steps on how to get your idea moving forward. If you maybe afraid to do something, or if you don't really know the next step to take, we'll really try and walk you through it in this book. I think you really enjoy it. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Again, my goal here is to inspire and uplift, and we do our best here to do that. Hopefully you're sensing that, and hopefully you agree. Any more guests you want to have me have on Speech Bubble, let me know. I have a lot of really cool guests we've had on, and guests I haven't had on, but I'd love to at least try if you guys want to see them, so let me know. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, I want you guys to get those visions accomplished and make your vision possible. And don't forget, art gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey, Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen, and the NOOG Network, my new app full of cartoons, shows, and games. Download it here. Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.